यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी मुदा तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय श्री श्री राधा कुंज बिहारी की श्री श्री गौर निताई की श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की कलियुग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की निरंतरा श्रीमद् भागवतम की। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्रीराधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. We are reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna. Yeah. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 14th chapter, second verse. There is a series of verses here which talk about how this world was when Krishna was present, and when Lord Krishna disappeared from this world, how this world became subsequently. Just like right now, you see this tube light is lighting up the whole room, isn't it? It is so brilliant, bright. But when there is a power cut, immediately you find pitch dark room, isn't it? Similarly, when Lord Krishna was present in this world, he was like a jewel on earth. Sometimes you see, when you see in a jewelry shop, they keep a gold ring or a jewelry, diamond in a small box. You've seen that? And the box has, if you open the box, inside you find some pink color or green color or blue color, some velvet. So it's placed on that. The jewel is shining. So the material world is like a dark place, like that velvet or whatever. And Krishna is like the jewel on earth. But when you take away the jewel, then the box is empty. It is just blackish. So Krishna is himself completely spiritual, and he appears in this world with his same body. He appears with a spiritual body, and then he performs these wonderful pastimes. At one point of time, he disappears, goes back to his own spiritual abode. Krishne swadhama pagate dharma jnanadibhis sah kalau nashta drishamesha puranarko dhunoditah. This verse says, Krishna swadhama upagate. He went back to his own abode, which is his dham. Swadham means what? Swadham, his own abode. Upagate means he ascended. Dharma jnanadibhisaha, carrying dharma, carrying jnana, all these things with him. Which means when he carried dharma jnana with him, in this world adharma started. And ajnanata started again. Subsequently. Ajnanata and adharma, they are compared to darkness. But then he says, you may ask, why did Krishna do that? Along with him, if he carries dharma and jnana, then what will happen to us? Are we going to live in a world of suffering? So he says that, Kalau nashta drishamesha, the people in the age of Kali Yuga started immediately. When Krishna went back to the spiritual world, then Kali Yuga started here. But he left behind the torchlight or the sunlight. Purana Arko, he says, Arka means the sun. Purana Arko, Adunoditaha. Which is the sun that he left behind? Do you know? Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is Srimad Bhagavatam. This Bhagavatam has 12 cantos, 18,000 verses. After you complete Bhagavad Gita, you can start Bhagavatam. So Bhagavatam is about Lord Krishna. So this Bhagavatam has arisen in the age of Kali Yuga to give light to the blind people of Kali Yuga, it is said. So you can make a comparison of how this world was while Krishna was present, and when Krishna went back to his abode, how this world became subsequently. That is explained in this chapter. You see, Yudhishthira Maharaj is making these observations. What all are happening. So here it is said, Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is ad infinitum, he says, which means is more powerful than most powerful sun of our experience. Millions and billions of suns are created by him and annihilated by him within his one breathing period. In the material world, the sun is considered to be the source of all productivity and material energy. So during the personal presence of Lord Krishna on earth, all paraphernalia for our peace and prosperity, especially religion and knowledge, were in full display because of his presence. Kunti Maharani is also saying that, my dear Krishna, since you lived with us in Hastinapur for so many years, the city of Hastinapur, wherever you see, you find the lotus footprints of Krishna there, because he used to walk there. So in the feet of Krishna there are marks. You will see there is a picture which shows in the feet of God and in the hand of God there are some chinha. Like for example, there is a flag, there is a thunderbolt, there is a elephant goad, and similarly there is chakra, there is shank, there is also padma, lotus. Like that there are symbols are there. Actually each of the symbols have a meaning also. Like for example, the gopis are praying, my dear Lord, in your lotus feet there is a thunderbolt. So if anybody takes your feet and keeps on their head, your feet will act like a thunderbolt and destroy their mountainous sins into powder. They are saying, whatever sins you have committed, they will be destroyed to powder. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami. How? So the thunderbolt will do that part. So pranata dehinam papa karshanam, they are saying. Similarly, each of the symbols has a meaning. And the lotus, there is lotus also in Krishna's feet. Lotus represents how soft Krishna is towards his devotees. How he becomes a servant of his devotees. So wherever Krishna would walk, he would put his footprints. So Kunti Maharani is telling, my dear Lord, wherever your footprints were there, the bhumi became, the city became decorated. She is saying this verse. This is 1.8.39. Neyam shobhishyate tatra yate danim gadadhara tvatpadair ankita bhati swalakshana vilakshitaha. She is telling, O Gadadhara, Krishna. Gadadhara means one who carries the gada in the hand, a mace. Our kingdom is now being marked by the impressions of your lotus feet, and therefore it appears beautiful. But when you leave, it will no longer be so, she is telling. So, there's a famous verse by Chanakya. He says, Prithvi Bhushanam Raja. What is the decoration for earth? The ideal king. Isn't it? Similarly, Narinam Bhushanam Pati. The decoration for a woman is her husband, he says. And Sarvari Bhushanam Chandro, he says. For the Akash, what is the Bhushanam? The Chandrama. Isn't it? If there is a full moon in the sky, the whole sky becomes decorated very beautifully. Isn't it? Similarly, he says, Vidya Sarvasya Bhushanam. If somebody is a wise and learned devotee, then even if his body may be ugly looking, even he may be poverty stricken also, still such a person becomes very beautiful if a person is wise. Like in Ashtavakra was externally ugly looking, but when he opened his mouth, people understood he is a very learned person, isn't it? He is an enlightened person. And if somebody is a devotee of God, needless to say, he is the most beautiful person. So, like this it is said, Prithvi Bhushanam Raja, because if there is a king in this world who is ideal king like Yudhishthira Maharaj, or like Arjuna, or like Parikshit Maharaj, and these are all famous kings, Ambarish Maharaj, Janak Maharaj, Dasharath Maharaj, like that, Lord Ramachandra. Even today people talk about Ramaraja, is it not? Because then the kings ruled with such kind of spiritual principles as the foundation, then the earth can experience happiness with those kings. Similarly, now I give you many examples. A woman may be beautiful, but her beauty will be exploited by other men if she is not protected by a husband. So that is why Narinam Bhushanam Pati it is said. So in this way, what is beautiful is explained. The earth also becomes beautiful when Krishna is present, in the same manner. Where there is presence of Krishna, then there is beauty. See, Prabhupada is explaining here very beautifully, very nicely. Yeah. Kunti is saying, Krishna, you are now walking in our kingdom, and the impressions of your footprints are making everything beautiful. There is sufficient water and fruit, and everything looks beautiful. So, in another purport Prabhupada is saying here, she is saying, Kunti is mentioning, the grains are abundant, trees are full of fruits, rivers are flowing nicely, hills full of minerals like gold and silver, isn't it? And the oceans are full of wealth. What is the wealth in the ocean? Pearls, Navaratnas, isn't it? And hill is full of minerals means like gold, silver, isn't it? Like diamond and all that, isn't it? Rivers are flowing nicely. But she never mentions that industry and slaughterhouses are flourishing. For such things are nonsense that men have developed to create problem. He's saying. So if we depend on God's creation, there will be no scarcity, but simply ananda, bliss. So here he's saying, this is Krishna's creation, how beautiful it is. So without Krishna, it cannot be so beautiful, like he is explaining here. The Prabhupada is saying how Krishna's presence makes everything beautiful. All these things are available. So Prabhupada would say, the nature is so created that you see, for example, the plants and trees, they give out oxygen, isn't it? And we give out carbon dioxide. So there is a symbiotic relationship, isn't it? Like we want vegetables to eat, so you cut the vegetables, you remove the chilka, remove the cover, or you want to eat fruits, you remove the cover, and all the covers of the vegetables and fruits you collect it and give it to the cow. Cow will be very happy. They eat only the covers. They don't demand the fruit. So you eat the fruit and you give them the cover, and then after they eat the cover, they give you milk back in return. And when the bulls are eating that, then they naturally give service by ploughing the field, isn't it? So you can use the bulls for ploughing the field, and you can sow the grains like paddy fields and wheat, all that you can grow, and the cow gives you milk, isn't it? And if you are doing yajna, then there will be parjanya. Yajnat bhavati parjanya, isn't it? Yajna karma samudbhava. So even in Kali Yuga there are rains because devotees are chanting Hare Krishna. All of you are chanting Hare Krishna every day. That's why rains are coming. If all devotees stop chanting, there will be no rains. There are many parts of the world where there are no rains at all, where people suffer. Like one time, His Holiness Gaur Govind Maharaj went to some place, probably Germany I feel. He went and there was a big Mahasatsang arranged, about 1,000 people were expected, some big satsang. But then people came, he saw people's faces were dry, very morose, their lips were dry, their bodies were dry. And he asked, what is the matter? Why you all look so sad? They said, no rain, no water, last 4 years. So we are struggling with the old water available, using only very little water. So he said, when I see you, I feel pathetic. I don't feel like giving a lecture, he said. Instead of giving lecture, I will only do kirtan now. Then he took his kartal and did Harinam Sankirtan. Everybody clapped hands and sincerely participated. In 1 hour, there was a heavy rain. Suddenly clouds came from nowhere. The sky was plain, but so many dark clouds came and it rained so heavily. Immediately all the newspaper reporters came and clicked the photos and videos and everything. The newspapers were full with articles. Indian Swami brings rain. Like that. So then ISKCON became very popular after that. So in Hyderabad also, in India, Prabhupada said when there was drought and scarcity and no rain, Prabhupada said, you do Harinam Sankirtan. They did it, and then the rains came after that. Something so practical you can see. How the holy name brings rain. When you do yajna. So when you do yajna, then there is rain. When the rains come, so it's like a cycle. When the rains come, then the grains can grow. Then you take the grains and you can offer it to Lord Vishnu, Krishna, and the Havishanna you offer. Then that is prasad, isn't it? You offer to Lord, then you eat the food, then that food purifies your heart. Then you get liberated from this world and go back to God. So in this way, now I was telling about the rains. Why? Because when the rains come, then the crops can grow, isn't it? Now the bull is helpful for plowing the field. Then you get the crops. Then you can eat rice, you can eat wheat, you can get vegetables, you can get fruits. And then the cow gives you milk. And from milk what all you can get? From milk you can get dahi. And if some dahi remains in the night, what do? You churn it and you make butter. Isn't it? So much butter you can make. In Vrindavan, people throw butter on each other and play. Can you imagine? Isn't it? Have you ever seen anybody throwing butter and playing? No. So much butter they had. Because when you have excess milk, you can make dahi, you can make butter, there are more than 250, 300 milk products you can make, like rasagulla, isn't it? Like you can make peda, this kind of items. You can make paneer sabji, you can make sandesh, isn't it? This kind of items you can make. With milk, you can also make rabdi, you can make sweet rice. What else can make? You can make seve sweet. Of course, ghee you can make. I was telling about the sweet meats which you can make. So, in this way, you can have from the milk, you get dahi, you get butter, you get ghee, and if still excess you have, then you can sell it and make money also. Isn't it? So money also you can make. So in this way, only from cow and bull you get everything. You see? All these products you get. So nice sweets you can eat. You eat rice, you eat wheat, you have cereals, you have vegetables, fruits, what more you want? Prabhupada is saying, what is the need of having clubs? What is the need of having fast food centers? What is the need of opening slaughterhouses for killing innocent cows and other animals? Is there a need? And Prabhupada is asking, what is the need of opening beer bars? What is the need of opening permit rooms, beer bars, slaughterhouses, McDonald's shops? What the need of opening all these things? What the need of cinema theaters? People have the scriptures to study and enlighten themselves and blossom in their life. Why? What is the need of all these places? Prabhupada is asking. So, in this way, when Krishna is present, she is saying everything will blossom. And how it is blossoming, she is explaining the mechanism also. She is saying that, Prabhupada is saying here, the whole material creation is due to Krishna's glance. Upanishads are saying, Saha Aikshata. See, the word Iksha means to see. See, that's called Iksha. Saha Aikshata means the Supreme Lord Vishnu, you see, when he is lying in the causal ocean, he is glancing at the material nature. You have seen that picture? When Vishnu is glancing in the material nature, immediately the material nature is set into action. Immediately. You see, the material world is originally created, but it is not active. It is in a dormant state. Just like in the night you are sleeping, in the morning you become active. Isn't it? Similarly, material world, in the dawn of creation, it was not active. The birds were not flying, the ocean was not having waves, the trees were not moving, the sun was not rising, the moon was not rising, seasons were not changing, nothing was happening actually. Everything was like stagnant, standstill, like a lifeless body. And then all the devatas, they went to different parts of the Virata Purusha. The Virata Purusha is the whole cosmic universal planetary systems put together. It's called as Virata Purusha. It's like a huge structure made up of, the mountains are like his bones, it is said. The rivers are like his veins in his body. The trees are like his hair on his body. The sun and moon are his eyes, it is said. So, this is actually material form of God, called as Virat Purusha. The whole material universe, all the planetary systems put together is like the form of a Purusha, Virat Purusha. But nothing was moving. So the Devatas went and offered prayers. My dear Lord, please wake up and set this universe into motion. But nothing was happening. And then the Lord enters. So the Lord glances at the nature and he enters into nature, and then you find everything is set in motion. All these things are happening as she is saying. The ocean become full of minerals, this Navaratnas, and mountain is full of minerals, and the trees are laden with fruits and flowers, everything. Like this. So he gives the example, Maya Adhyakshena Prakriti. There also the word Iksha is coming. Maya Adi Akshena Prakriti, he says, isn't it? Aksha means again see. See, Adi Aksha means seeing from the top. Adi Akshena. Like sometimes the parents let the children go to play, but they are seeing from the top. Are they mischievous? Are they playing properly? Isn't it? They are watching them. So Adi Aksha means supervision. Maya Adi Akshena Prakriti Suyate Characharam, he says. This is the mechanism Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita. I am glancing, Arjuna, at the nature, and the nature is producing all these wonderful things. And if I wouldn't glance, it won't produce anything, he says. Just like you must have seen your father sometimes, if a group of guests come to your house, he just turns into the kitchen, and then he may just clap hands or he may just look at the wife, isn't it? Immediately the wife gets into motion. She starts making some tea, making some snacks. She makes some samosa, some tea or something, and she brings for everybody. Of course, you are talking about Vedic wife, Otherwise, modern times probably the reverse may happen also. So, when the man looks into the kitchen, immediately the wife gets a signal, isn't it? So, any of you have experience of this? Of course, Krishna, when he puts his glance, immediately the material nature is like a stree. Because Prakriti means female, right? We say Mother Nature. So the Mother Nature gets very active immediately. You can see Mother Nature, how much she is producing, you see. When Krishna puts his glance, all the vegetables and fruits and cereals and whatnot, everything is coming out of nature. So, she gets into action like that. We have no experience. By our glance, we can make things move like that. Like Lord Ramachandra is putting a glance in the ocean, and the whole ocean is boiling. Isn't it? Can you take a glass of water and make it boil? Just look at it. It doesn't boil at all, isn't it? But Lord can do that. With any one of his senses, he can do anything he wishes. Is it not true? But we have some experience of controlling certain things with our eyes. For example, somebody is playing kartal, which is going off track. Ideally, you have to play along with the rhythm. Chuk, 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 how Prabhupada plays, isn't it? Or somebody takes the kartal and instead of playing proper step, they are playing little fast, chuk, 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 like that. And you look at them, and that is dum 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 dum. Now when you play like this, kartal has to go accordingly. Check, check, check. So somebody is playing fastly, you look at him with sharp eyes, immediately becomes frightened. Then he gives kartal to another devotee. I think Prabhuji is a little angry with me. Like this, Jayadvaita Maharaj used to come to Pune, So nobody will dare to play Mridangam for him, except myself. So I would play Mridangam for him. So when I would play, then he would play the kartal slowly, look at me, slow, slow. Don't be too fast, slow. Then I would play slowly. Within after next 2-3 minutes, again I would become fast. Again I would turn around. Then I would try to be slow. So we have experience of we people controlling somebody with our glance, with our eyes. We also control also. But Krishna's glance is so powerful. God can glance in a big way. We can glance in a small way. At the most, we can control 1 or 2 people. But Krishna's glance can completely control the whole nature. And he can produce so many things through the nature. Like the Prabhupada is saying here. Of course, when you say he is producing, Prabhupada is saying here, of course, what comes from the material nature is not the life, but the body, isn't it? Material nature is producing only dead matter, bodies. The living entities accept particular type of bodies from material nature, just as a child takes its body from its mother. The father gives the semen, and the mother gives the flesh and bones for the child, isn't it? So life is where? Is life in the mother's womb, or is it in the semen given by the father? Do you know? Yeah, you know the mechanism? I explained in the Upanishads. See, when the soul leaves the body and comes out, he goes to hell, he suffers in the hell, then he comes back, then he goes to heaven and enjoys the punya in the heaven also. Then he comes down through the rainwater. In the rainwater there is soul. And then the water enters into the bhumi, then enters into the plants, and enters into the vegetables. So when we eat the vegetables, it goes into the belly. Then that is gradually converted into, the rasa, majja, medha, asti, shukra. Like that it goes through 7 type of dhatus, we say. The last one is called the shukra. Shukra, what is shukra? Semen, yeah. And the semen is stored in the man's body. And then when the man unites with a woman, then the semen passes from the man's body into woman's body. Although there are many, many particles of semen, not all semen particles contain the soul. Some of them. Doctors have found when the semen enters into a woman's embryo, although most part of semen doesn't move at all, but some semen particles start moving. And they are the ones having soul. They move and then they go and break a egg and they enter inside, and then that gradually emulsifies and the fetus develops like a plum kind of thing. Then the plum has got 9 holes. So our body was like that once upon a time. It was like an apple with 9 holes. And then slowly head came out, and then some holes were in the head, and slowly hands come out. Initially the hands are like this only. Slowly this fingers come out. Like that it grows gradually. That's why we all got the body, yeah. So we have come through this processing. So let's come like that. So the Maya Devi is giving only the material bodies made up of matter, but the living entity is a soul. Like that is saying. So in this way, through the nature is producing all these wonderful things. Yeah. So, as it says here, Krishna's glance is so powerful that it makes the nature so wonderful. When rains come, all living entities become very joyful, isn't it? Like you see the peacocks are dancing when they see the clouds in the sky. And human beings also naturally feel very happy when the waters come, because the ocean water is salty, nobody can drink it. But the rainwater is potable. Then when the rivers are flowing, then civilization can form around the rivers, isn't it? People can build homes. If you see in the Vedic times, there will always be a river around which people will be living. Not that you need a syntax tank or something. Nobody had a tank to store the water unless you are living in a city, isn't it? So when there is a flowing water, you can take bath, you can wash the utensils, you can fetch water for worship. You can clean your back after after passing stolen urine in a bush or something. Then you clean up your body, and it's a passing water, so there is no problem. So she's telling, when you are glancing the nature, there is unlimited water in the rivers. You go to Bengal, you will find so many pukurs. Pukurs are the ponds. In every house, outside the house, they have a pond. They can come in the morning, they can fetch water, they can use it for all purposes like that. So here Prabhupada is saying in Kuntimanani's section, despite the advancement of our civilization, if we cannot bring Krishna and Krishna consciousness into the center of everything, our civilization will never become beautiful. Those who have joined the Krishna consciousness movement were beautiful before they joined. But now they have become Krishna conscious, they look especially beautiful. Therefore, the newspapers often describe the devotees as bright-faced. So many newspaper reporters used to ask, how your devotees are looking so brilliant, so bright. They look so happy. Like one professor came to one ISKCON temple and he saw all his university students, boys and girls who were chanting and dancing and doing services. So he said, I have never seen them so brisk, so happy and joyful. They were so dull and morose and black-faced. They were actually indulging in all kinds of drinking, smoking and everything. And I've never seen them so enthusiastic in life. For the first time I'm seeing them so happy, he said. So Prabhupada is saying about that. At the present time in America, many of the younger generation are confused and hopeless. And therefore they appear morose and black-faced. Why? Because they are missing the point. They have no aim in life. But the devotees, the Krishnaites, look very beautiful because of the presence of Krishna. What was a fact 5000 years ago during the time of Pandavas is still a fact now. With Krishna in the center, everything becomes beautiful. He's saying, with Krishna in the center, everything becomes beautiful. And Krishna can become the center at any time. Krishna is always present and we simply have to invite him. My Lord, please come and be in the center. And then he is giving the example of that very famous example you know very well. Like all our material qualifications are like a string of zeros. And when you have Krishna in your life, what is it like? Putting a one in the front. And then he's saying, we never say, stop everything material. One simply has to add Krishna. At the same time, he says, of course, we have to give up anything which is against Krishna consciousness. It is not that because we do not stop material duties, we should not stop meditating. We must stop it. One cannot commit sinful activities and at the same time advance in Krishna consciousness. That is not possible. You don't have to give up all materialistic activities, but you have to give up those activities which are against Krishna consciousness. Yeah. Of course, if somebody has a difficulty giving up meditating, drinking, smoking, any of these habits, then such a person also only has to surrender to Krishna. Then Krishna says, Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo, which means when you become Krishna conscious, these activities will automatically disappear. Because darkness and light cannot coexist. It's not possible. Automatically the unwanted activities will disappear. So, and then he's saying, if a child unknowingly touches fire, does it mean that the fire will excuse the child and not burn? No. Nature's law is so strict, so stringent, that there is no question of excuse. Even in ordinary law, ignorance is no excuse, he says. Similarly, he says that, ignorance is no excuse for transgressing nature's laws. Therefore, if we want to actually be free from the reactions of sinful life, we must be Krishna conscious. It is therefore recommended, Kirtaniya Sadahari, always chant Hare Krishna, I say. So now, for example, if any of you want to drive a car, what do you need? You need a license, is it not true? Without license, can you drive a car? You can't, isn't it? But in order for you to have license, what do you need? Yeah, what is the qualification you need? You should know how to drive the car, that's all. Or something more I am looking for. Rules, very true. In India, if you are driving, you should drive the car on the left. In America, if you are driving, you should drive the car on the right. That you should know. You should not say that, sorry, I don't know. Sorry, sir, I was not aware of it. So will the traffic police leave you because you are not aware? Oh, you are not aware, no problem. No. They will say, how did you get your license, sir? How did you get it? You can't get license unless you know the rules and regulations. Similarly, as soon as you have a human body, you are supposed to know the rules. Yeah. You will say, Prabhuji, how will I know? Of course, I am a human being, but nobody told me. No, human being means you should inquire about the self-realization, absolute truth. Jivasya tattva jignasa. You say, no? Then you will read Bhagavad Gita, you will read Bhagavatam, you will read Bible, you will read Quran. You will know what is right, what is wrong. Tasmat shastra pramanam te, karya vyavastita, he says. What is karya, what is akarya. What is to be done, what is not to be done. We have to know it. And if we don't know it, what to do? Huh? Inquire, yeah. Inquire from others. Search for the truth. That is human life. Huh? Like that he's saying. And then you can learn. That's how you can include Krishna in your life. Now, what happened, as Kali Yuga started, here some symptoms are given, that there were seasonal irregularities, he says. You know what is seasonal irregularities? Uh, which means like season's atmosphere becoming manifest in another season. One season is manifesting in another season. Like for example, the rains are supposed to come now, June, July. Sometimes the rains are coming in November or December. Like I was going to this place called Velhe, we were searching for a land for the temple. So on the way they showed me so much crops got spoiled because rains came at an odd time. You know that? Because after the grains come in the paddy field, if the rains come, all the grains fall back into the mud. So farmers lost all the grains. Last year there was a big loss, you know that? Lot of loss because of that. So when you take out the paddy, then all the grains are already gone. It's not available. So the rain sometimes come at wrong season. Odd time it comes. Or sometimes due to natural disorders, there are crops growing in Antarctica. Antarctica, where there is supposed to be ice. And where the crops can grow, they don't grow. And they are saying tsunami also came because of the environmental disorder. And why there is environmental disorder, anybody knows? Why there is environmental disorder, anybody knows? Yeah? Simple activities. This is a more religious explanation. I want a scientific, empirical explanation, yeah? Okay, meat eating? Abortion? Any other reason? Huh? Yeah? Yeah, what is scientific? Why are they coming like that? Anybody, yeah? Huh? Yeah, disobeying laws of God, you can tell to our devotees, they will understand. But how will you tell the outsiders? He's saying cow killing. How does cow killing bring about all this thing?
When the throat of the cow is slaughtered, then it releases some ultrasonic sound, something like this, which enters.
When the dying animals scream, that is called as a pain wave. So Einstein in his time came up with a theory called as EPW, Einstein's pain wave theory, which is now further researched and presented by another scientist called as BIS theory. It was published in a newspaper I was reading. So what is this pain wave theory? It says that when the animals scream, they make the earth's crust vulnerable, leading to earthquakes. So Einstein said the earthquakes are directly connected to the slaughter of animals. He said that. And you will see wherever there are, like Godhra in Gujarat, you will see Bhuj, Godhra and all these places where there are slaughterhouses, there are also earthquakes there. You will see that. Very nearby places you will see that. Like in other parts of the world also, where they have slaughterhouses, they have earthquakes, many places. They have seen, in fact, they have done a research on this topic. So this is one thing. Besides that, also the industries are leading to the increase of entropy. Like they say this, the heat, the global warming we call it. The global warming is leading to global environmental disorder also. See how it is connected, you see. The global warming causes the glaciers and the Arctic, Antarctica to melt. When the ice melts there, what is the problem? Somebody may say, hey, Arctic, Antarctica, I am not going to live there. If ice is melting there, why should I bother here, sitting in Bombay or Pune or anywhere? What happens? Do you know what happens? Huh? Ah, yeah, because of the melting of the ice caps, what's happening? The water level is increasing in the ocean and it is going to enter into all the cities. In fact, there is a video also. Any of you saw the video? Yeah, Radha, make sure they see that video. There's a beautiful video on this, and they are predicting the next 20-30 years how the waters will enter into cities and submerge the cities. Most part of America will be underwater and all that they are saying. India also, many places. So they have any city near ocean can have problems, like Bombay and others. Now we may say Pune, we are more safe now, Fortunately, there is no ocean nearby. But the earthquake can come anywhere. In any part of the earth, earthquake can come. So, the point is what? When modern man does not accept the natural products given by Krishna through the nature, very nicely supplied by Krishna, he goes for artificial products, expanding the industries and slaughterhouses and all those things, activities which are never actually supported by the scriptures, which are against Krishna. Then the result is he himself gets into suffering, like what we said just now. So there were seasonal irregularities, and also he is saying symptoms like change of regulations and foul means of livelihood, greed, anger, and fraudulence became rampant. Yeah. A godless man is invariably greedy, angry, and fraudulent. Such a man can earn his livelihood by any means, black or white. During the reign of Maharaj Yudhishthir, all the above symptoms were absent. He's saying. Maharaj Yudhishthir was astonished to experience even a slight change in godly atmosphere of his kingdom. He's saying, a man becomes too greedy for wealth and power when he has no higher objective in life and when he thinks that this earthly life of a few years is all in all. You see, when does a man become greedy to take away another man's wife? Who took another man's wife? Ravana. Who took another man's property? Duryodhana, isn't it? So when does a person want to take away other living entities' property? See, God is like a father who has given every country their own toy to play, isn't it? For Gulf he has given oil. For Americans he has given dollar notes, isn't it? For India he has given spirituality. For Germans he has given machines. God has given something for everybody, so that they can flourish and they can be happy. But naughty children are those who want to have their own toy also and others' toy also. तुम्हारा भी इनका भी सबका दो मेरे पास और हम क्या करें तुम भाग जाओ. Isn't it? This greedy, naughty children, mischievous children. So when do people become greedy? He says, when they have no higher objective in life and when he thinks this earthly life is all in all. And they think. You all know that all in all formula? Who can say that? What is the first all in all formula I told you? You remember? This body is not all in all. Soul exists. No, you don't tell that. You know it. I want only the second year devotees. This lecture is for second year devotees. How many are for second year? Yeah, this is only 5. Okay. Any of you can tell. This body is not all in all. Soul exists. Isn't it? Is this body made of flesh and bone all in all? No. There is a soul in this body, isn't it? Similarly, what is the second formula? This material world is not all in all. Spiritual world exists. One Haribol for him. Haribol! Then, third, anybody knows? Actually, this is third one. He told the third formula. Second formula is what? Yes. This one lifetime is not all in all. There are many more lifetimes, isn't it? Like, you give up a Luna and accept a car. You give up a Maruti and accept a Benz. Give up a Benz, accept a helicopter. Like you're changing vehicles, you are changing bodies also. So this one life is not all in all. There are many more lives. After you leave the body in 80, 90, 100, you get another body. So this one lifetime is not all, there are many more lifetimes. Then, what is the third one? Third one is what you said. This material world is not all in all, there is spiritual world. And fourth one? Anybody knows? We are not all in all, there is a God in control. These are the 4 things. You all will remember? Who can say all the 4? The second year devotee. If you say, we will give you one Haribol, Prasad. Who can say all the 4? Your second year? Yes. Yes.
This body is not all in all,
yes.
Soul exists.
Yeah, I can keep the mic nearby. Yeah.
The material nature is not all in all.
Okay.
The material nature is not all in all. The eternal spiritual nature is exist.
Yes, very good.
This lifetime is not all in all. Many lifetimes are exist,
Mm.
and the um,
We are not all in all.
God exists.
God is in control. Huh? So this is called all in all formula. Krishna is the only one who is all in all. Huh? So, but we think these four wrong all in all things we are thinking. That is why here Prabhupada is saying here, hmm, a man becomes too greedy for wealth and power when he has no higher objective in life. What is higher objective in life? Self-realization, going back home, back to Godhead. That is higher objective. And when he thinks that his earthly life for a few years is all in all. Ignorance is the cause for all these anomalies in human society. And then he's saying, and then when Kali Yuga continued, what happened? All ordinary transactions and dealings became polluted with cheating, even between friends. And in familial affairs, there was always misunderstanding between fathers, mothers, and sons, between well-wishers, and between brothers. Even between husband and wife, there was always strain and quarrel. You see? Which means, like, there is no word in Sanskrit for the English word divorce. Do you know that? In Sanskrit you won't find. Why there is no word in Sanskrit? Because there is no divorce at all. It is unheard of in Vedic life, divorce. Of course, it's not that in Vedic time there was no quarrel between husband and wife. Even between Shiva and Parvati, sometimes there is a misunderstanding. Parvati wants to go to her father's house. Daksha is conducting yajna. And Shiva is telling that because Daksha offended us, we should not go. She's begging again and again, please allow me. You see, all the other demigods are flying in airplanes along with their husbands and wives. And their family members, they are all going for the yajna. You are a mendicant, you will be sitting under a tree peacefully, doing your meditation. And I am after all a woman. I am attracted to go to my, father's place. Please come. He said, I am not coming. Then if you are not coming, at least give me permission to go. And Shiva says, if you want to go, you may go. It is your choice. No, don't say like this. You should happily, smilingly say you should go. And Shiva is saying, how can I tell you with happiness? Because he doesn't like us. Daksha Prajapati doesn't like us. So she's telling, you see, he is such an intimate relative of ours that he doesn't have to give any invitation at all. Because near and dear relatives, like for example, if there is a marriage in your house, your sister is going to get married, will they give you an invitation? You don't need invitation, you are a brother. A brother is supposed to organize the marriage. So you will not be given an invitation. Similarly, she says that, see, I belong to my parents' family, so they don't need to give us an invitation. It goes without saying that we are invited. That Shiva says, what you are saying is true if there is love between the families. But when they don't love, the not giving invitation is a sign of not wanting. Like that he says. So then she is thinking what to do. She is looking at the sky, all her friends are going, and she is looking here. Shiva is saying no. There are tears in her eyes. She is looking at Shiva as if she is going to burn Shiva to ashes. No, what kind of person are you? Like at last she decides to go. She thinks that I will go to my father and convince him, and I'll bring him to Shiva and take him also and invite him and go, and all that she thinks. So anyway, when she is ready to go, Nandi comes there and she sits on the top of Nandi. Then all Shiva's associates, they look at Shiva, they look at Parvati. They know that Shiva is our master, and his most dear devotee is Parvati. So naturally, when she is going ahead, they all are following her. They give a parrot in her hand to hold, Meenakshi. Parvati holds a parrot. So they go also with her. So this kind of scenes which I am telling you are extremely rare in the Vedic times, where you find there is a tussle between husband and wife. Other times you will find Parvati sitting with Shiva peacefully, asking questions, and Shiva gives answers. Perfect question, perfect answer. She keeps asking questions and he keeps giving answer. Yeah. Husband, wife, yeah. Like in South India, for example, if a girl wants to marry a boy, the boy's mother will come along with the boy and ask, cook some nice thing and give some upma or something. They will cook, and they'll eat and say, "Oh, it is so delicious. Who cooked it?" And the girl's mother will say, "Yeah, she only cooked it. She only cooked it. She is very good in cooking and all that." But after the marriage, boy will know she doesn't know any cooking, and that was cooked by her mother only. But why they will ask this? Because a woman should know how to cook nicely. Nice prasad. So lifelong, if she can cook nicely, then the husband will not go to hotel. He will not eat out anywhere. He will stay at home and he will eat. Similarly, they will ask the girl, does she know any veena or violin or something? Does she know singing? Because what happens, the body doesn't remain young and beautiful for a long time. Initially at the time of marriage, the girl looks young and beautiful. Isn't it? Very charming and attractive. Fair sex, Prabhupada says. But after another 10 years passes, she begets some 2, 3, 4 children. After that, the bodily beauty is finished. She becomes fat, isn't it? And the attractive future is gone. Then what? Then the husband should not leave her and go for another young-looking, beautiful girl, isn't it? But if she knows some nice music, so husband and wife sit and she's singing Carnatic music, singing some songs. And if she is philosophically inclined, husband is also philosophically inclined, they both can discuss, isn't it? So in the Vedic times, these things were seen. In matchmaking, they say these things. So, husband, wife, there may be quarrel, but if there is a quarrel, what happens? The result is, at the most, the wife may go to her parents' house, maybe for 1 week or 2 weeks or sometime. And then the husband will go to fetch her back. Then the parents of the girl will say, why did you scold her? She became very upset. And he will promise them, don't worry, I will take care. And then they will give her back, and he will bring her back. This is general. Like Gandhi himself says, once Gandhi became angry with Kasturiba, occasionally there will be fights between Kasturiba and Gandhi, Like once Kasturiba told Gandhi that, so you are promoting this khadi. Khadi, no? Yeah. So she said, but I don't like this khadi because it is so thick and so heavy, At least in the kitchen, I don't want to wear it. Kitchen is such a hot place. Can I wear milk cloth in the kitchen? Which is very thin and very nice. And at other times, all day I will wear khadi for your pleasure. Don't worry. Gandhi said, oh, you can do that. You can go into the kitchen with milk cloth and cook. You have the freedom to do that. And I have the freedom not to eat the food you cooked. So he was a very strict man, Gandhi. Because I am telling whole India, Swadeshi movement, burn all the milk cloth, put it together, and my wife is not cooperating with me. So sometimes Gandhi would have a tussle with his wife like this. So one day Gandhi became so angry, he shouted at Kasturiba and said, get out of the door. I don't want to see your face anymore, he said. And Kasturiba became very frightened. She immediately got up and she went out to the door. Gandhi closed the door. And after 1 hour or so, he was a little curious. So he opened the door and saw she was sitting right outside. Below the steps she was sitting. And then he peeped out and asked, why are you sitting here? He asked her. I told you to go away. Why are you sitting here? She said, yes, I decided to go away, but I don't know where to go. If I go to my mother and father, they will scold me. Why did you leave your husband and come? Husband is your shelter. How can you leave and come? So I don't know where else will I go. I have nowhere in this world to go, she said. And she cried. And Gandhi said, all right, come inside. So, this is the quarrel in Vedic time, that's all. Vedic life was like that. The quarrel. So there is a verse which says, Aja Yuddhe Muni Shadhe Prabhate Megadambake, he says. Aja Yuddhe means like goat fight. You have seen goats fighting? Like this goat will fight. You have seen that? Keeping the hand like this. And then somebody says, hut! They say like that. Immediately they will give up the fight. And they will be walking very peacefully. As if they'll forget also that we are fighting now. They'll be chatting also together and going together. You see? So, husband-wife fight should be like that. It is said, Megadambake means the morning time you look at the sky, dubu 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 dubu, sound it's making. Dubu dubu dubu. Sound is coming, but there is no rain at all. It's only making sound. So similarly, husband, wife, even if they quarrel also, there may be little quarrel. But there should not be tears coming from the eyes of the woman. If a woman cries, then there will be no Lakshmi at home. There will be no happiness in that house. So in the Vedic life, these things were taught to the people. Husband, wife, they should have mutual respect and love for each other. So, but here, what Yudhishthira Maharaj saw, husband, wives were quarreling, shouting, yelling at each other. Father and son were having an argumentation. Father was telling son to do something, and the son was not obeying. He was rebelling against the father, counter talking, that kind of thing he saw. Like that, sometimes in families it happens. So he was very surprised to see that brothers and brothers were quarreling for property, for land. They were quarreling. Like before Kali Yuga, there is a story. And the same story, when it happened after Kali Yuga, the whole situation changed. One farmer sold land to another farmer. And another farmer purchased it in just two gold coins. He purchased the land. And then he was plowing the field. Suddenly he got a pot full of 100 gold coins. This man was surprised. Then he came to the previous farmer and said, "Sir, in your land there was a pot full of these 100 gold coins. And this land belongs to you. You only sold it to me. So please take it." And that man said, "I am unable to take it from you because I'm not sure whether I should take it or I should leave it with you, because I sold the land to you. Now that the land belongs to you, you should keep all these 100 gold coins with you." But the man said, "But I purchased it in 2 gold coins. And now there are 98 more in this. I mean, that 100 is such a big amount. How can I keep it? I think if I keep it, sin will overcome me. Please, you keep it." Then he took it and said, "No, you keep it. You keep it. You keep it." They had a fight. And they said, "Okay, come, let's go to the king." And then they went to the king. The king said, "You see, I am a king. I am only supposed to collect 25% tax. So I will take 25 gold coins. And balance 75, you both keep it. And you divide it amongst yourself and you enjoy." And now they became peaceful, because king is as good as God. King is called as Naradev. So if he decides something, then people would accept it. Then they divided and they lived happily. They never had a quarrel. This is when? Before Kali Yuga. After Kali Yuga, similar thing happened. One farmer sold land to another farmer. And then another farmer, when he was plowing the field, some sound came. He saw gold coin. They looked here and there. Is there anybody? Is there anybody? He was hiding it, in his Angavastra or something. He was hiding it. And hiding and going. That other farmer's wife noticed it. "Hey, what is this fellow doing, hiding?" She immediately told her husband, "Please go and see what is this fellow hiding." And this fellow went inside the house, and then husband and wife, they were talking amongst one another. Then both the women talked. "Hey, what your husband found?" She said, "Nothing," she said. "But I can look at your eyes and say, something he got it. Tell me." Then she told her, "Don't tell anybody. He got 100 gold coins, in our land." Then she went and told her husband. Now this lady said, "Ask him, because it is our land. We just sold him yesterday only." Then these two farmers had a fight. Big fight. That fellow said, "Hey, I sold you only yesterday. You gave me 2 gold coins. I will give you the 2 gold coins back also. And I'll give you the land free. But you give me this part of 100 gold coins." That fellow said, "Nothing doing. This is my land now. It's no more yours." And the news went, a big crowd of people came, and Panchayat people came, and the matter went to the king. These fellows were not willing to go to the king. They were afraid to take the matter to king because a lot of money is involved. But ultimately Panchayat said, "No, you have to go to the king." When they went to the king, king said, "Please show me, where is the gold part? Show me. Yeah. As soon as the king saw that, he took it and said, "No, both of you guys go back." All the lands in the whole country belongs to me only. You see? This is Kali Yuga, you see? That's why he's saying here, cheating, this kind of misunderstandings. Yeah. He's saying, these things are unseen in the previous ages, you see? Yeah. Yudhishthira Maharaj, he says all the symptoms of degraded society were unknown to the people of the time before. So, in this way, Yudhishthira Maharaj saw many inauspicious symptoms in the beginning of Kali Yuga. He saw that in the sky was clear and there were no clouds. Although there was a big thunderbolt in the sky, dubu sound was coming, and there were no rains at all. And the lakes were all dried up, the rivers were dried up, and the cows' udders were all cows had become very skinny, and the cows seemed to be weeping. The horses were all very bony, they were not healthy at all. He saw the donkeys were braying, and he saw the jackals were emanating fire from their mouth, looking at the sun and howling. He saw that it appeared that the deities in the temples were weeping. It appeared like that. So, and the nature was very dry. Akal, we say, no? Drought everywhere. The ground was parched. Sometimes the ground becomes parched, it breaks. You have seen that? Yeah. There was scarcity of water. And people were quarreling, and the business people were looting the public by keeping exorbitant profits. Because in Vedic times, you cannot keep profit more than some certain percentage. If you do that, the report will go to the king. But people were looting the public, and they were selling mixed products, like they were mixing things in order to make more profit and enjoy life. So people are becoming unreasonable in dealing with one another. And seasonal irregularities, you saw too much heat, too much cold. Like sometimes in Pune nowadays we get 42 degrees Celsius in summer. Similarly when cold, such a cutting cold, people suffer like anything. Similarly diseases, infections and all that. So we can make a comparison of Yudhishthira Maharaj's kingdom before Kali Yuga started and after Kali Yuga. Before Kali Yuga started, when Yudhishthira was ruling the world, it is said, there's another beautiful verse which says, Kamam varsha parjanyaha sarva kama dugamahi shishichusma vrajan gavaha payaso udasvatir muda. It is said, the cows' udders were so heavy with milk, when they were running hither and thither, they were making milk kitchen everywhere, like that. And there was, fresh green, lushy green forest everywhere. The flowers were blooming, the trees were laden with fruits, and the birds were chirping, sitting in the trees. And the rains would start in the night, and early morning when farmers would get up, the rains would stop. So the rains would pour in ideal time. Because if you're sleeping in the night, then rains can pour. When you get up in the morning, the kheti is full of waters. Yeah. And the crops are growing so tall, taller than your head also, your shoulder also. Reddish grains are grown, and the paddy field is full of grains. Like that, he says. There is a beautiful verse in South India, there is a Andal Tirupavai, in which Andal, great devotee of Krishna, she is singing a song in the mood of the gopis of Vrindavan. She is saying, Margari Tingal Madi Nirainda Nannala Nirada Podumin Neridayin Sirvalgumai Padi Selvachirumirhal. So, the meaning of the song I'll tell you, because many of you don't know Tamil. You'll be bewildered what is going on. So she's telling, Chirumir means, oh gopis, come here, come here. She's calling all of them. Now the Margashish month is coming, December month. She's telling this month is very dear to Lord Krishna. In this month, what we will do? Let us make a program for pleasing Lord Krishna. She's telling all her friends. Neyunnum paalunnum naatkale neeradi. Early morning we will get up and we will take a bath. And Neyunnum paalunnum means we will not eat ghee, we will not drink milk, we will not eat opulent foods, we will only eat khichdi. We'll offer khichdi to Krishna and we'll eat only khichdi. Very simple foods we will eat. Maiyetteludom malarittu nam mudiyom. They are saying, we will not apply kajal in our eyes. And we will not tie our head with beautiful jata. You know, the girls, they put like this jata, you see? You know, they tie it very beautifully, either two or one, they make like that. You seen that? So we will not tie our hair like that, we will just leave our hair like this as a austerity, just to tie one end with a knot and leave the hair like this after taking bath. And what we will do? Mayittum, malarittu namudiyum. Malarittu means we will not wear the beautiful jasmine flower hanging from our hair. Because in India you will see women wear jasmine flower either from one side or they put from one side to other side like this. You have seen that? That adds their beauty. And it is also fragrant. As soon as a woman with jasmine is coming, immediately that gives a nice feeling for everybody at home, for the children and for the husband, for everybody. But they are saying that in this month we will not wear any flowers at all. They are saying. Malarittu namudiyum. Seyyadana seyyom Tikural senrodom. She is saying, we will not, Sayyadana Seva means we will not do any wrong things. We will remain pure. Like for example, Sayyadana Seva means sometimes by knowingly, unknowingly we fall from our standard of purity. Is it not true? Sometimes due to greed, like one is not supposed to eat anything that is not prasad, but sometimes we smell the bhaji, it's very nice smelling. Isn't it? Sometimes onion pakoda, somebody may fall from his standard. You know, somebody succumbs to temptation. Is it not true? And then they are saying Tikural Sendrodom, which means we will not blame anybody. We will never blame another devotee in this month. He did this, he did that. Don't blame. Blame game is a very bad game. Like you see, once Akbar, he got up in the morning and he saw one barber. As soon as he saw the barber, he slipped on the ground and he fell. And he thought, the sight of this barber has made me slip. Then he got up, then he walked some distance. In the afternoon, he broke his hand. He got a fracture. And then evening, he heard there was some big money loss or something. So immediately he called the ministers and said, hang this barber and kill him. Because the very sight of this barber has spoiled my whole day today. He said. And Birbal told, my dear king, wait a minute. You know what he said? If the what should we do with that person whose sight has brought about the inauspicious death for the barber? Barber saw somebody in the morning because of which he is going to die. What should we do with him? He asked. And Akbar heard it. Wait a minute. Don't hang him. Because if you are giving him hanging punishment, what is to be given for me? Something more worse than that. So, Birbal taught Akbar how not to blame others. So, we always get into a blame game, isn't it? You know the ABC mode? ABC means accusing, blaming, criticizing mode. And after ABC comes BMW mode. Blaming, mourning, wailing. Wailing means, ee, shouting like that. Why are you doing like this? That is wailing. Mourning means, that is mourning. Yeah, blaming means, you ask him, hey, who did this? You ask him, hey, who did it? No, he or he, they will say like that. You have seen people? So there is a picture like this. Everybody showing like this. Nobody will say like this. If you ask, hey, who did this wonderful service? Me. Isn't it? Hey, who committed this mistake? Maybe somebody else probably, You will do like that. So, this is called as ABC mode. So, Tikkural Chandrodam. We don't blame anybody, they say during this month. Ayyamum Pichayum Amtanayum Kaikati Uyumarendrani Uvandelorem Pavai. They are saying that we will give charity to the poor, to the sick, to the needy, as well as to Krishna's devotees, the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. We will give them charity in this month without being attached to our own money. We will give charity to them. And in this way we will enjoy this month by performing austerities and doing Katyayani Vrat. So that Katyayani will be pleased with us and she will bless us to get Krishna as our husband. Like that the gopis are praying. It's a very beautiful song. And then they are saying subsequently, now This is the austerity period. After you complete the austerity period, what will be the result of austerity? That also they are saying. ஓங்கியுலகளந்த உத்தமன் பேர் பாடி நாங்கள் நம் பாவைக்கு சாற்று நீராடினால் தீங்கின்றி நாடெல்லாம் திங்கள் மும்மாரி பெய்து ஓங்கு பெரும் சென்னல் ஊடு கயலுகள. They are saying, we will worship that Lord who came as Vamana, who measured all the three worlds with his foot. And we worship him. He is same as Krishna only. When we worship that Lord, what will happen? And that rains will pour in time, and fields will be full with paddy fields growing very tall with rice and wheat and everything, isn't it? And the water will be so high level in the fields, and the fishes will be moving in between the recesses very happily, delighting in the waters. And the Brahmar, you know the Brahmar? The Brahmar also sings very beautifully. They will be coming and sitting in the flowers, very happily singing, seeing the natural beauty. They're saying, and they're saying the cows, Vallal, Perum Pasukal means the cows become like donors. Donors who give abundant wealth. What wealth they give? The milk. By drinking milk, it straight away goes to your brain and nourishes the brain tissues and awakens your spiritual acumen. Do you know that? If you are drinking cow's milk, just drink cow's milk for a few years, you will see you become very alert and very brisk and very shrewd and very intelligent. And most importantly, you will understand the spiritual subject very nicely. And you drink buffalo's milk for some years and see, you will become very fat. You will become stout. Buffalo's milk makes you, it increases fat in your body. And cow's milk increases spiritual acumen. It increases, it nourishes your brain tissues directly. That is said in the scripture. That's why it's a very vital nutrient, milk. So she's saying the cows are like donors who are giving unlimited milk, but how much charge did they take from you for the milk? Nothing, you see. See, in nature you find the trees are giving shade but without taking any money. The moon is giving moonlight, the sun is giving sunlight. You can see that the waterfalls are giving so much water. The cows are giving milk, but these are all very magnanimous souls. Those who are giving without taking anything in return. Of course, a farmer who gives you milk may take money, but the cow doesn't take money, you see. In this way they are saying everything is flourishing in nature, Krishna, and they are saying now, once our vrat is over, now fasting is over, now we will do feasting now. We will make our foods with such ghee, we will make pongal. And while eating the food, our ghee will be dripping down the hand up to the knee, up to this. Like that we will drink, they are saying. We will eat like that, with yellowish transparent ghee, which is put on the rice and mung dal, prepared very nicely, the pongal. We will eat that and we will delight in feasting, they are saying. In this way we will flourish in our lives very happily, they are saying. So, in this way, when Yudhishthira Maharaj was present and ruling the kingdom, everything was flourishing, everybody was happy. And the climate was just the appropriate climate. Sometimes I feel Pune climate is very wonderful, most of the year, isn't it? It's like air-conditioned city. So, if you become Krishna conscious, the more everything will become favorable. You will see it will not be too hot, it will not be too cold, climate will be favorable, there will be no epidemic, there will be no disease, there will be no scarcity of food, no scarcity of water. And everybody will be happy, the relationships between people will be very nice. Prabhupada says the father should be protective, the husband should be protective, the wife should be chaste, and children should be grateful. Who can repeat these three? The husband should be protective, wife should be chaste, and children should be grateful. And this is a Vedic family, you see. So, all of you living in voice, you are bringing Krishna in the center of your life. So, if you do your morning sadhana very well, chanting Hare Krishna and hearing the class attentively, you will see your life will be jolly, simply jolly. But sometimes I hear in voice, devotees are quarreling. They are finding fault about one another. To openly tell each other's fault is a beginning of fall down. If you are pinpointing faults at each other, and spreading blasphemy, then it becomes like Kali Yuga. Of course, Kali Yuga means age of quarrel and hypocrisy. If we become mischievous and not following the four regulative principles, and if we quarrel amongst one another by pinpointing each other's faults and not see the brighter side of devotees, then the Kali Yuga, Kali Raj enters into the voice there. If you want to keep Kali in bay, not allow him to enter inside, what you should do? You should avoid quarrel with devotees and fault finding. You have to avoid it. So all our voices are like, we call it as a Vedic oasis for inspiration, culture and education. So it's like an oasis in a desert. An oasis where Kali cannot enter. You strictly follow these four regs. No meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, no illicit sex. And avoid finding fault with devotees and quarreling. Kali cannot enter. You will see, your life will be, your heart also will become free from moroseness. It will become free from wickedness, and you will become innocent like a child. And you can lead a very happy life. You can be happy and you can spread happiness to others also. Thank you very much. Now there are 7 minutes for question answer. So till 7:30, by 7:30 I'll conclude. Any questions? So what was the main theme I spoke today? No, I want the answer only from second year. Second year devotee? Second year? Yeah, please give the mic to him. You tell your name and then tell the summary. What was the summary? Yeah, you had a summary, no? Yeah, please give it to him.
The main theme was that how the people were before Kali and after Kali.
Before Kali Yuga came, how people lived, and after Kali Yuga came, how people became. And what was the reason for such a great difference?
Krishna's disappearance.
When Krishna is present in this world, everything was wonderful. After Lord Krishna went back to his abode, then Kali enters and all these things come. But it is not that now Kali has come, there is acid rain outside and we have to go outside and we will just get bruises all over the body. No. If there is acid rain outside, what you will do? You have to carry an umbrella. Is it not? So living in voice is like the umbrella. Yeah. If you're living in the voice, you can protect yourself from the evil effects of Kali. Is it necessary for every son to fight with the mother and father, for every husband and wife to quarrel with each other, for everybody to be a cheater? We don't have to become a victim of Kali. We can be victors. Opposite of victim is victor. You become a victor. Victor means one who emerges victorious. You see, once 3 men were sitting outside a house, and one lady came out from the house and asked, "Who are you guys? You want to eat some prasada or something? Please come in." They asked, "Is your husband there?" She said, "My husband is not there." "Oh, if husband is not there, we will not come in. We don't enter a house where husband is not there." They said, "Okay." Then she waited. Evening husband came, and the husband asked, "Who are these fellows sitting outside?" She said, "I'll find out." She went and asked the fellows' names. And they said, one said, "My name is Victory." Another fellow said, "My name is Love," he said. Another fellow said, "My name is Wealth," he said. Then she came inside and told, "These are 3 fellows sitting." And then they are saying that we can call any one of them, they will come. And the husband said, "Let's call Wealth," he said. "Because wealth comes, you can enjoy life." Wife said, "What is the use of wealth? I think victory would be better, because we all want to emerge victorious in life." Then the daughter-in-law said, "Why are you asking for wealth or victory? We people are always quarreling in the house. Better call love inside. Because if love comes, there will be peace. Shanti will be there and we can enjoy life truly." And all of them agreed. It is true, if there is love between us, we can be happy. Then she went out and called, "Oh, love, please come in." When that one man got up and walked, the other 2 also followed. She asked, "How are you coming?" They said, "No, if you call either wealth, or if you call victory, other 2 would not have come. But because you call love, we are followers of love," they said. So when love came, the other 2 also came. So that love is represented by Krishna. That is why, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna Yatra partho dhanurdaraha tatra shrir vijayo bhutir dhruvani tirma tirmama. It is said, when you get Krishna, you get everything. What four things you get? Huh? Tatra shrir vijayo, all opulence, extraordinary power, morality, and victory. Everything follows when you have Krishna with you. So, even now in Kali Yuga, if you possess Krishna or if you carry Krishna with you in the form of chanting the holy name and attending the morning programs, so you are strengthening your shelter in Krishna, by which you can get all these four things. You can have morality in life, even in Kali Yuga. Huh? You can have extraordinary power, you can have opulence, you can have victory. That's what Sanjay says. One who has Krishna will get all these things. So that's a nice summary he said. One more devotee had a summary you want to say? Same thing you want to say? Yeah.
When we disobey nature's law, then we have to suffer for that. It's like inconvenience in disorderliness in.
When we disobey nature's law, then we have to suffer inconveniences. Very good. That's true. So nature is actually, whose nature it is? Krishna's nature, yeah. Actually, why do we create? For example, we have created mobile, we have created cars, we have created washing machines. Why do we create these things? For our enjoyment. Is it not true? Similarly, why has God created Prakriti? For His enjoyment. But we guys are taking what we created and what God created and we are enjoying both. You seen that? Isn't it? But without even reference to God, people are not even a thank you to God. We will create something and enjoy. We will take God's creation and enjoy also. Then one will suffer. So, like one man, I have probably told you the story. Once he was a servant in a Jamindar's house, and Jamindar had gone to a faraway place with his wife and family members. And the house was empty now. And Jamindar said, I'll come only after 3-4 days. And the man thought now, while cleaning the house, he came to the bedroom. He saw, oh, such a thick cushioned bed. It is so soft. Nowadays they have this much thickness, 1 feet thickness cushion they have nowadays. So this man thought, I am a poor man, I have never slept in such a nice cushion. Anyway, my Malik he will come only after 3-4 days. Nobody is at home. So I can peacefully sleep now. Let me just at least experience sleeping in this bed for 5 minutes. 5-10 minutes, he thought. And he lied down. Some or other, due to some change in plan, the Malik came back. He came back, house was open everywhere. He went and he saw this fellow was sleeping in the bed peacefully. Malik took a stick and started beating him left, right. This man jumped up from the bed. But instead of crying, he started laughing. And Malik asked him, why are you laughing? You should be crying, I am beating you so much. This man said, sir, I only slept for 10 minutes, for which I got more than 10 beatings from you. And you are sleeping all your life in this bed. How much more beating you are going to get? He said, you are enjoying so much God's gifts in this world without thanking God. After your death, you will get a good beating, he said. So, in this world, we take so much from God and enjoy. But people never say thanks to God. Only Srila Prabhupada taught us how to be grateful to Krishna for all the gifts He has given us. Any questions? 1 minute is left. No questions? It was clear? Thank you very much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki.